Hey you. Yeah, you. Smile. Hi friend, you're listening to Marysaystosmile, the podcast I hope you get something out of. Whether it's a smile, laugh, or learning something about whatever it is we're talking about. Hi everyone, it's your girl Mary. If you follow the podcast, then you'll know that I've been doing a series called Your Happiness. I'm obsessed with how every person is different and therefore has different experiences, opinions, and thoughts in general. Happiness is the best thing, and maybe these mini interviews will inspire you to go find your happiness. Here is Liann. Hi, Liann.
Hey.
You are my first kind of not in-person, over Zoom, virtual recording person. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Okay, and I'm just going to get started.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when someone asks, what makes you happy?
The first thing that comes to my mind is just, honestly, it's kind of abstract, but just being really present in whatever I'm doing. I feel like if I'm just, for instance, like hanging out with people and all I'm thinking about is the fact that I'm hanging out with them and I'm having fun and I'm not really like worried about anything else. I feel like for me, that's something that can happen a lot just because sometimes my schedule is really busy with work and things like that. And so even when I'm somewhere, I think to myself, like, oh, I also have like X, Y, and Z to do when I get home, right? It's like extra stress. But when I'm like just in the moment and I'm just enjoying something, that is when I'm at my happiest. It could kind of be anywhere.
Okay. Who makes you happy? Like genuinely happy?
Yeah. I would say that my friends are some of the people who make me the most genuinely happy. I mean, I'm staying with one right now, Erin Yoshida we both know her. You just said hi to her and asked her about dental advice. But I think especially for me, like really old, long-time friends, because at this point in my life, grew up in Hilo, went to Oregon for college, lived in North Carolina for grad school. And so I've been very fortunate to make a lot of friends in a lot of different places. But it's different when you have friends who you've known since you were like an elementary schooler or a middle school, right? Like they know you. There's an ease that comes with them. Like you don't have to explain anything to them because they know your life and you know theirs. And there's something about kind of that simplicity of being with them where it's like I feel the most relaxed and the most happy.
Oh, so cute. Okay. Tell me about your happy place, either real life or fictional or both.
Yeah, I think, my first answer, I had said that really happiness for me is kind of like I could be anywhere as long as I'm in the moment. But when I think about an actual place, the first thing that comes to mind is about 7 years ago or so, I was visiting Long Beach, California. And wherever I was staying, there was like this little like juice bar. It was like literally like a hut, like a stand on the side of a corner. So it was like fresh pressed juices and smoothies and like acai bowls, right? In like beautiful, sunny, breezy Long Beach, California. And so for however long I was there, like pretty much every single morning, if I had the time, I would go to that little stand and they had a couple of small tables out and I would get like an acai bowl or a smoothie or something. And I would just sit at that hut and like have my little treat and enjoy the breeze passing by and like the sun on my skin. And so whenever I think of, I remember actually sitting there and thinking to myself, I am not the most religious person, but if there was a heaven, I was like, this would be my heaven, just me perpetually sitting here in the sun with some fruit. And that would be it for me.
That sounds amazing.
It was, and I think that's also like kind of the part of being very present as well, because I just sat there and I just enjoyed everything, but it was so easy to do because it was so beautiful. And like, who doesn't love a good acai bowl,
Period. In the sun with a breeze. Okay. What is a song that when you listen to, a smile creeps on your face no matter what?
Okay, this is going to sound probably a little bit weird. I also might be getting the title wrong. I think it's called Hotel Room Service by Pitbull. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, is that the one that we always played at dances?
Yeah, that's why it makes me happy. That's why like a smile creeps onto my face. Because I just remember like being a teenager and being really like silly and dancing.
Hyped and like jumping in like a mosh pit of friends that are sweating. Yes. The dun 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 dun. That one. Oh my gosh. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. And then you said that's why it's the song that makes you happy because you think of those memories.
Yeah, because I think honestly, the only time I ever heard that song was when it was like, I don't hear it. It's not a song that would like get played on the radio or like when you're
True.
just shopping at the mallers, right? It's not an ambient song. It's like a go hard and like party song. Yeah.
Party song.
Yeah.
Okay. Great answer. Oh my gosh. So, a food that can make even the darkest moments in life a bit more bearable.
Oh man, I love food. So just one is hard.
Oh, you can say as many as you want.
Oh, okay, great. We're gonna need a lot of time, Mary, because no, I think the first food that comes to mind is a spam musubi because I mean, it's where I'm from and I don't make it for myself a lot when I'm out in the mainland, but like I'm visiting Seattle right now, and because there's like a decent Hawaii population, you go to some places and they just have spam musubis, and even just like seeing it makes me happy. But like definitely when I'm back home in Hawaii and I'm at like 7-Eleven or something, I was like, oh, spam musubi, like I want it. Yeah, it just like brings me back to like being a kid in Hawaii, which is nice. And also like, so whenever I come home to visit, typically as long as she has the time, like the first meal that my mom will make when I visit, because she's Korean, is bibimbap. So good. It's in like, I don't know, you can get like obviously really good bibimbap at Korean restaurants, but for me it's like the simplicity and the comfort of my mom's bibimbap. It's like, tired, just got off of like a 15-hour flight, but I always look forward to the bibimbap.
Okay. So tell me about a moment where you knew that you were blissfully content with life and the world seemed golden.
It's interesting. I think, kind of just like baseline day-to-day level, I'm a content person. Like I think I have a very like sarcastic personality, like dry humor, but baseline I think I'm easily content person. And so it's weird to think of an answer to that question, but I feel like it's kind of those moments where I described before where like all I care about is whatever I'm doing at the moment and whatever I'm experiencing then. And so in a way, it's like I don't even realize that like things are golden, right? Because I'm not even thinking about like, am I happy? Am I content in this moment? It's like when I look back at like, a fun beach day with my friends, for instance, or like when I look back and celebrating something with people I care about, and it's like, oh yeah, like that was a really like just a great time, right? I feel like those are kind of the golden sort of memories in my mind. Yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, do you have a favorite quote that is either uplifting or makes you feel powerful?
Oh man, this was a question that I saw and I was like, I need to think about this, and then I forgot to think about it.
Take a moment.
You said uplifting
Or makes you feel powerful, or honestly, like if you just have a favorite quote.
Does it have to be like from an actual person, or can it just be like
No. One of my other guests, he did a quote that he came up with himself, actually.
Okay. So I think in that case, the quote that I think I used to tell myself a lot, because I don't know how many of your listeners have this experience, but like living out in North Carolina when you're from Hawaii and like going through just some of the stresses and pressures that I was dealing with in like grad school and stuff, like there was, I think, a lot of room to feel very insecure and very just like shaken up about who I am. And so I think the quote that I constantly told myself was, I don't have time for doubt, it was something that I told myself over and over and over again. Like it felt like kind of where I was, like several years ago, for instance, it felt like there were a lot of people who doubted me and what I could do. And it was like, look, there are all these people who doubt what you can do already. You don't have time to doubt yourself. Like you doubt yourself, everything falls apart. So you just gotta believe that you can. Yeah, exactly.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Wait, what was it one more time?
I don't have time for doubt.
Yay. Okay. Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for being here, Liann.
Yeah, thank you, Mary.
Okay, perfect. Hi there. That was an episode of Marysaystosmile. Please like, share, review, and subscribe. Basically, however you're listening to this podcast. Also, I've made an email for you guys to send questions or topics that you would like for me to discuss/talk about. It's going to be Marysaystosmile@gmail.com. One more time, Marysaystosmile@gmail.com. Anyways, I hope you have the most amazing day. Bye!